Hello everybody. I'm just here to talk about how the scape of the NBA has completely changed within the last 48 hours. What transpired 2 days ago is without doubt the biggest shocker to any NBA fan ever. I would happily say there has never been a trade that has single-handedly erupted NBA fan bases for not only 2 teams but 30. Anthony Davis is now a Dallas Maverick. You wouldn't have thought that at the start of the season. Not in a million years would have that been on your 2025 bingo card. Not only that, Luka Doncic, a top 3, 4, wherever you want to put him in that conversation, player in the world, is a Los Angeles Laker. How does this happen on a random Monday? We are talking about a generational talent here in Luka, who has taken the NBA by storm, is 25 years old, has had 5 first-team All-NBAs in his 6-year tenure in the league, and he gets shipped for a aging, elite, don't get me wrong, elite player in Anthony Davis. But for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and one first-round pick. Nico Harrison has come out and said about the conditioning with Luka, about not knowing whether he is going to benefit us winning now. Let me remind you 10 months ago where you were. Not even 10 months ago, 8 months ago. You're in the NBA Finals. You're going up against Boston, who, yes, absolutely ran riot on you. Beat you in 5. Handily. And yes, you were beaten well by a super team. Let's not get it wrong about the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis. That's an elite team. But who took you there? That Slovenian beast who averages 28 points in his career in Luka Doncic, who is 25 years old. I'm 28 years old, and I'm sat here making a video about a person who's 3 years younger than me and is a top 3 or 4 player in the NBA who hasn't even reached his prime yet. His prime's not going to be for another 3 or 4 years. And then his prime's going to last 5 years. You're talking another 10 years of Luka at this level. And you ship him for 1 first-round pick. Nico Harrison, if you don't win a championship in the next 3 to 4 years, which is now your window, you said it yourself in that press conference. I want to win now. 3 or 4 years is our time frame. If you don't win a championship in those 3 or 4 years, there are so many questions that you need to answer. Now, don't get me wrong. I actually think Dallas has now one of the best teams in the Western Conference. Do I think they're beating OKC in a same 7-game series? No. You've just taken away your primary ball handler. And don't get me wrong, Kyrie Irving has proved that he can do it on a championship stage. We saw that in 2016 with Cleveland, but he did have LeBron James next to him. The amount of pressure that's now on Kyrie and AD to bring a title to Dallas is higher than it ever would have been if Luka had stayed around. Because at least you knew that you had 10 years with Luka. You had 10 years to build the perfect team around him. And once Kyrie's time is up, which could be in another 2 or 3 years, Luka's going to recruit people to Dallas. He's someone who players will want to play with. We've seen he makes everyone around him better. the fact that he can create his own shot, the fact that he can create shots for others. He makes his teammates better. He is very similar to LeBron in that aspect. Now, who is going to bring those players to Dallas? You think Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, Derek Lively are now going to go out and recruit some of the best players that are going to be coming up in free agency? No. And where's Luka now? In the biggest market the NBA has to offer, maybe outside of New York. The Lakers. Not only do people want to play in the Lakers because then they're playing in LA, they now get to play with Luka. Are you joking? Nico Harrison, you said that this was done under the radar between you and Rob Pelinka. Having these little coffee conversations, started off with, would you ever do this? And the best you could come back with is AD, who, like I said earlier, is elite, but Max Christie, not a Austin Reeves, not 2 first-round draft picks, which the Lakers are eligible to trade and can trade. Who knows what a San Antonio would have given up for Luka? They've just given up a haul to get De'Aaron Fox. And no disrespect to De'Aaron Fox, he is not Luka Doncic. Look at what we saw this past offseason with a Mikal Bridges, 5 first-round draft picks. These are good all-star caliber players. We are talking a all-NBA generational talent in Luka. And like I said, I think Dallas is going to be very strong this year. I don't think they're going to win a championship. I don't think they're going to win a championship next year either. OKC is still going to be there. Memphis is here. The Rockets are coming. And then out east, you've got Boston, who are still going to be there. You've got the Knicks, who are still going to be there. Who knows what Philly's going to look like next year if Joel and PG can remain healthy. Milwaukee, you cannot discount Giannis Antetokounmpo. And now, who knows what happens next year in LA? Who knows? Is LeBron, has this just added another 3 years onto LeBron's career? You know, he said that he's going to do this until he can do this at an elite level. Luka will potentially, as if LeBron has not had the best longevity of any athlete of all time, might just increase that by another 2 or 3 years. Because now he's coming into a situation where Luka is going to probably be the main offensive facilitator for LA, which means LeBron can take those possessions off, not have to worry about bringing the ball up the court, not having to worry about having to run the offense every single play. And you know, again, from Dallas's perspective, AD's almost 32. You've just shaved almost 7 years off of your window. And we don't know what AD's going to look like in 2 or 3 years. I think he's got 4 years left on his current contract, which by the end of it, you're going to be paying him almost $70 million a year. What's AD going to look like at 36? I don't think he's going to look like what LeBron did at 36. In fact, we know he's not going to look like what LeBron did at 36. Is he going to be doing what Tim Duncan was doing at 36, you know? Going to the finals with San Antonio? He's injury prone. Yes, he is absolutely elite, top 2, 3 big man in the league when healthy. But, you know, we just had John Cena come back to the WWE. Dallas, your time is now. Otherwise, it is not happening. And you have just sold your future and your franchise talent for so much less than what I thought you could have bought in. Can you imagine what the bidding war would have been like if the Dallas Mavericks came out and Nico Harrison came out and said, you know what? Luka is on the market. The bids would have been ridiculous. The Charlotte Hornets probably would have sold their franchise and named it the Luka Doncic Hornets. I mean, are we joking right now? And if I'm the 28 other GMs, I am flabbergasted. I am, quite frankly, annoyed that I didn't receive a phone call saying, Luka's on the market. What do you want to give me? But hey, it's done. And 48 hours down the line, you know, it's a lot to take in, but it is real. And we will see Anthony Davis play for the Mavericks whenever he's back healthy, and we will see Luka Doncic playing for the Lakers whenever they are back healthy. And this season, I think for the Lakers, this is not a... I actually think the Lakers are worse today than they were 3 days ago when they had AD, in terms of their chance of winning a chip this year. I think just the fit of LeBron and Luka might not be a smooth transition. I've heard other people saying that it might take time, and, you know, they both want the ball in their hands, and I completely agree. And also, you know, now the Lakers have no rim protection. They have no big man, you know. Jackson Hayes is all energy, but he is not a championship winning starting center, and he has no backup on the front line. So what are you going to ask Rui Hachimura to start playing the 5? Are you going to ask Jared Vanderbilt and Dorian Finney-Smith to start playing the 5? When you've got teams like Denver with Jokic, and obviously Dallas now, they'll be running their 2 big lineup with AD and Gafford or Lively. You know, the Lakers just don't have the size right now to be able to compete at the top of the Western Conference. And obviously OKC are still without Chet, and they're still dominating the league, and who knows what they'll look like when Chet comes back. So unless obviously within the next sort of 2 days the Lakers go out and get a big man with this first round pick and a couple of the other assets. Obviously they got tradable contracts in Rui Hachimura and Gabe Vincent, but unless they go out and get a starting caliber quality big man, I can't see the Lakers winning the championship this year. Dallas, like I said, I think that they are well equipped to do well in a very deep Western Conference, but I can't see them winning the championship. And like I said earlier, they must win the championship. If they don't, this is one of the biggest flops of an NBA superstar. No. It is the biggest flop of an NBA superstar that we would have ever seen. There has never been an NBA superstar who is a global superstar who has been traded before their prime has started to this degree. That's all I've got to say. Dallas, the ball is in your court, and it will remain in your court until you bring a championship to that city. And if you don't, you will lose a fan base, as if you haven't lost half of them already, because they can't believe what you've done with their star boy, their franchise player. But that's all I've got to say. I'm still a little bit in shock. I can't wait to see how it all looks, how these teams fit. And who knows, maybe in 2 days we'll see another blockbuster trade. Jimmy Butler, you know, we've just seen De'Aaron Fox go to San Antonio. Who knows if there's other big pieces that could be on the move that we don't know about. Now, this has opened up a new kettle of worms. You know, we could have other GMs talking to other GMs about such and such. You know, there was probably 5 people in my mind who I thought would never leave the franchise they're on now. Unless obviously they wanted out. Jokic, Giannis, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You don't send LeBron from LA unless he asks out. And Luka. Those to me were the 5 untouchables. We've just lost 20% of them. So who knows? Who knows now? The NBA will love this because everyone is now going to be wanting to watch Laker games. Everyone is going to want to watch Dallas games. I would not be surprised if that Lakers-Dallas game on, I think it's the 25th of February, is the most watched regular season NBA, maybe even postseason NBA game that's ever been watched. And, you know, we're talking about ratings being down and what can the league and Adam Silver do to try and boost those ratings? Well, they just got a freebie, quite frankly, because this is box office. This has got the whole world talking. You know, we've got the Super Bowl on Sunday night and everyone's talking about the NBA because this is the biggest acquisition and trade that has happened probably in any sport. And we'll see what happens. But anyway, that's all I've got to say. Peace and love. If there are any other blockbuster trades or anything that pop up, or I want to talk about anything specific, then I'll be sure to make another video. But I just wanted to get on the bandwagon of this because it left me speechless when it happened. So yeah, see you all later. Enjoy the rest of your week. Ta-da.